Part 7. Part 7. The gasket and the bolts came in, and the intake gaskets came in, so I'm good to go there. Got the gasket surfaces cleaned off on both the pan and the engine block. I have the oil pump pin out. You'll see why in a minute. And my inch pound torque wrench only goes up to 200. So the conversion from 300 to foot pounds is 25. So I have my foot pound torque wrench set to 25. And it even has the full pattern here for you, where you go and how you torque them down. Also says to chase the threads, which I've already done with a thread chaser. And of course, we all know from the 6.1 video, when I'm done here, I will readjust these valves. So just a couple things that are important when you're reassembling is to make sure that you have the new seal surface. I did change the oil pan seal that it's going to be riding on with plenty of oil. So oil that up, make sure it's good clean oil. Then you'll take the pan and slide that pan right down on that sucker. So we'll grab it right now and do that. I've already got the new oil filter on. And like I said, I've already got the gasket surface cleaned on this one. I've got my dowel pins in here, my locating pins, and of course the new gasket is in place. So let's bring her down nice and careful like. And I also oiled the that lost my oil. I also oiled the gasket itself. Nope. Okay. Here's what will happen sometimes when you're trying to do that. If you guys can see, that spring has come out of the groove. So I need to put that back in and do take 2. So I'll be right back. Let me get that reset. Take 2. To get that back in is not difficult if you've got little fingers like I do. I just put one finger. That's kind of hard to see. Let me get a flashlight on this. How about that? A little better. See my thumb wiggling down there. I put the spring in and pushed it down a little bit into the groove with one finger. I'll show you here on this one. I'll just go ahead and take this one out. Come on. And this oil seal is still real pliable. Let's pop that one out of there. Okay. This is what happened. Oops. This is what happened. It popped out. So what I did was I reached up in there and just held it in with one finger and then just walked my finger around and it just popped right back in place. So that's how I put the oil seal spring back in there. Make sure it's in there. Also make sure that you don't fold over the new seal like I just did. If you see it starting to fold over, pull it back off and straighten it out. And I don't know how many takes it's going to take me to get this, but we will certainly keep going until we get it. I just wonder if there isn't something that I can do to help that along. This is a blunt I know I'm being quiet because I'm concentrating. Don't interrupt me. Y'all be quiet. Hold your breath while I'm doing this. Ta-da! Down it went. Awesome. Alright gang, everything is together except for the blower housing and the screen and the air filter. So, now we're going to do the oil pump shaft that goes into the tail of the cam. And my valves were all about 2/1000ths too tight. Okay, got two pieces here. You just need to remove that center piece. I'll get my handy dandy little hemostats out here. Clean the ends off of them real good. Pull that little guy out of there. Bloop. Easy as that. Then you have two ends. One is a square, or is a double D. The other has a slot. You want to look down in the hole. See if I can get you closer. I'm going to have to adjust the camera a little bit, so should be able to put you guys right on top of it. Put a little bit of light on the subject. See that slot down in there? We're almost out of focus. Let me back you back out. You see where I'm talking about. I'm telling you, that camera is like right there. I'm only that far away from. I'm really, really close. Oops, so I'm having to work around it. So you want to align this pin with the slot in the cam and make sure you've got a nice coat of oil on that, and it'll just drop right into place just like it did. There you go. Now you may have to rotate the engine around a little bit, or just rotate this ring around a little bit in order to get this to drop in, but you just want it to drop. You don't want to force it in there. So just move that until it drops just like that. That's it. It's done. New O-ring. Then you see down here, little red witness mark. Putting that cap right back on the exact same spot. Put it on. Put your screws back on. 75 inch-pounds torque. Inch-pounds, guys. Inch-pounds. And the next time you see this, it will be sitting in the poulon, because I am ready to add oil to it. Hook up the fuel line, plug in the power pigtail, and start it. So we'll see you guys in a few. Well, it's going to be a while for me, but it'll just be a couple seconds for you. We'll be back. Boy, do I wish Jeannie was here. That way I could just blink, have her blink, and that engine would be right there. I'll be darned. It worked. Yee-haw. Alright. I'm going to get this thing hooked up. Got the battery on the trickle charger. Then do a compression test first. Then we're going to see if this old girl's ready to come back to life. Stay tuned. Alright. First cylinder compression test. Let's see what we've got here. Get it to where you guys can see it pretty good. That looks alright. Let's see what we got. At right about 100. Not great, but not horrible. Let's see what the other side looks like. Let's see what this one does. This one's almost 150, and this is the cylinder head that I did the work on. How about that? Alright, I'm going to check the valves on this one again and see if I don't have a little bit of blow-by going on there causing that. A couple of other tricks I can try, but let's see about that before we try to start this thing. Moment of truth, guys. Here we go. And I got my thermometer here so I can make sure I'm firing on both cylinders. Was just a slight valve adjustment over here. After I cranked it a few times, something seated in, and I had a tight intake valve, so I wasn't getting all my compression. I'm at 155 on this one and 150 on this one. So we are in great shape as far as the compression on the cylinders goes. So, moment of truth. Dun, dun, dun. Anticipation's killing me. I don't know about you. This is always the most nerve-wracking part, but then it's the most satisfying part. I mean, overhead valve engines, they're not super new on the market, but they're new enough on the market, and I'm such a flathead guy, as Bruce Pender pointed out, that it's like working on a car engine. You've got it's like working on a small block Chevy. You've got the same things going on. All right, I know I'm procrastinating. Let's hit the key, huh? A little bit of choke, a little bit of throttle. Now all the cranking I did probably already primed everything. Wait, yeah, my fuel filter is full of fuel, so let's see what happens. 3, 2, 1. Check our temperatures. Yeah, I don't know about you guys, but I call that a win. All the oil and all the cleaning compound and everything's smoking up on out of here. It's going to take a little while to burn all that off. Yeehaw. All right, Zippo's happy. There it is. I want to keep this last part relatively short. Let me smell that and make sure. Yep. I know that's not real healthy, but it's definitely my cleaning solution. I can tell from the smell of it. So I'm going to set it outside, let it run a little while, burn all that stuff off, and engage the deck and make sure that everything's copacetic with it. But it looks like I've got my mower back. Yeehaw for me. That's it. This is Zippo. I will catch you guys on the next fun project, which will be that hustler sitting outside that's been waiting patiently. So, Zippo later, I'm out!